Good morning, Wildcats. We're working on monoprints today. You've been hearing about the work of Elizabeth Catlett, the revolutionary work of John Biggers. These two Black American artists refused to stand by while they were being mistreated and used their art as a mode of expression and also as protest. So today I invite you to create your own art from protest. What things do you believe in? What things are important to you? What values are important to you? Try putting that into your art. Is there a story that is particularly moving or important to you? Maybe instead of that, you don't want to focus, you just want lines, shapes. That's fine. It really doesn't matter. This is half of this. And the reason I tore it in half was so that I had more than one stamp to work with. That way I could put some lines and patterns on one, and then maybe something that I wanted to create emphasis on the other side. Here's my example. I decided to do the continent, the source of our species, Africa, and you'll notice it is backwards. So whatever you do, if you are stamping, you need to make it backwards so that when you place it on a piece of paper, what happens? You get the inversion, you get the opposite. So this is especially important to keep in mind. If you want to add words to your work, if you're going to add words to your work, then you need to make them backwards, or else when you make a print, it's not going to make any sense. If you make mistakes, you can use both sides. You'll notice this side is smooth. This side, I used a toothpick, and as long as you just don't poke all the way through, both sides are available for you to use. That means you can change your mind. Of course, the easiest way is just to sketch what you desire first. So on a scratch piece of paper, lined paper, or white, make a sketch, especially my friends that want to make letters, of what you want your print to look like and mean in. Let's get started. Get your block out, your toothpick, and perhaps your sketch. Here, I'll keep my Africa nearby. And start with whatever you're most interested in. I like to start with the focus. We call that the emphasis of your work. In this case, the emphasis is West Africa. So going back and forth, you'll notice you do have to go back and forth. I had to start a line in one place, then sometimes pick it up and move to another place. The reason being is so that I don't create holes. Sometimes there's a little bit of drag with your toothpick. I'm not doing it very hard. The first line is more like a score. Some of you friends that have done other techniques know what scoring is. What's scoring? Scoring is when you make your first line and it doesn't necessarily go all the way through. So this is a little difficult to see, but I've already started to etch out my design. Okay? Elizabeth Catlett and John Biggers did use linoleum. It's kind of like some hard stuff that you could use on a floor. It's a little rubbery but hard. And then they used knives and etching tools. We don't need to do all that, so your toothpick will be good enough. After you've created your focus, make it stand out. In this case, I'm choosing a radiating design. Radiating, what does that mean? That's right. It means that there is a focus in the center and all the lines emanate from the center, like a sun. So pretending that this continent is the center of the sun, I'm using all these lines to radiate from that center. Take a little closer. See how I've done this? They're not that deep. I still have my other design on the back, so you know it can't be that deep. What details do you think will make your work stand out? I'm going to try some wavy lines, some zigzagged lines, and let me show you some patterns really quick. I'm thinking I'm going to make this available to you in class, and these are just lots of patterns similar to the ones that you could find in kente cloth in West Africa. During Black History Month, I've invited some of our students to make kente, so that's why I have this. Kente is a traditional cloth was woven in West Africa, specifically Ghana, also called the cloth of kings. So you can check out a pattern and try duplicating it on your own phone. Gonna make some more shapes here. To carve out a shape, make the outline and then just gently Press down the foam. Where do you want that shape to go down? You see I've made which shape? Exactly, I've made a triangle. So you can make shapes like this. If I were to take a large part of it and start removing the foam, then that's going to create some negative space. When I make my stamp, do you think that that's going to receive color, or do you think that'll be an absence of color? Yeah, these areas that I have suppressed, pushed down, they're going to have an absence of color. They're not going to pick up the color. So whenever you think your design is prepared, filled up with lines, shapes, different spaces that are positive and negative, those are ones that are raised and lowered, then you can choose some color. Go ahead and maybe with some blue. How's my marker working? Pretty good. And I'm just going to quickly cover up the stamp. Notice I got a finger down holding it on the bottom. And I'm avoiding my hand for now. I'm going to cover up all the rest of the space. You don't want to press hard because you're just going to force the ink down into your spaces and lines. And that's not really what you want. You want to make your designs show. Well, now when I get closer to my hand, I'll just put my hand somewhere else and finish it up. Yeah, got a little blue on me. That's okay. Patch it up. I think I did pretty well for coverage. What do you guys think? You can take a piece of paper. In this case, mine's already been cut down to size, but you should have some full-size pieces of paper and gently press. I'm going to press all the way around this foam. Without dragging it around, without smacking it. There's no smacking, there's no beating. You don't need to poke. Just want to gently make sure all the corners and all the lines are touching. And when you remove it, you'll get your single print. Okay? I could have chosen a darker color. If I feel super, if I really think that I can do this the same both times, I could even lie it back down on top. But normally what we do, instead of putting it back on top, is start to add other colors of choice. You see this dries super quickly, right? I can go back over my designs. I can make different parts stand out that I want to stand out. I can recreate that emphasis that maybe was a little lost in the stamp. I can use crayon. Personally think that crayon makes a nicer effect than marker to bring out certain parts. This process is very individual, so it's really whatever you're interested in, Wildcats. Okay, so that was a simple monoprint. I enjoyed making that, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. See you later.